Hello again. Welcome to episode 28 of Attic to Basement Estate Cleanouts with Raccoons. I wanted to talk about a house in Bethesda. It's one of the first houses I worked in that had a security system. Since I didn't have one at my house, it took me the whole 3 days to get used to this. I had 30 seconds upon entering the house to put in the combination number and the same number of time to get out of the house and lock the door when we left. I was always anxious while doing this. One time I took too long and the phone rang saying it was the security alarm company checking that everything was okay. Luckily, the family had given me the code word to tell the security company, or the police would have been coming to the door. The woman here never married. She had a sister in town and a brother out of state. Doyle's auction house in Northwest Washington, D.C. did the appraisal, which came to $137,000, including jewelry. Most houses I worked in only had a $5,000 to $10,000 appraisal of the contents. The appraisal was done before November when I was called in to do an assessment of the work. I was to start work the first week in December. There was an antique easel and 20 pieces of art. A stroller, playpen, and high chairs were also in the house for when nieces and nephews brought their children over. Charity was taken to the National Children's Center in Bethesda, and a fur coat was taken to a consignment shop. We took oil-based paint to the Montgomery County dump, along with bottles of lawn and household chemicals. You will see a photo of a ripped portrait. It stayed with the family along with the silver pieces in the photos that have round stickers on them. I used 4 different helpers on this job over 3 days for a total of 56 hours. And that is the end of the most interesting houses from 2007. We cleaned out an apartment in 2008 at Homecrest House, which is a 3-story building in Silver Spring, Maryland for seniors. The woman had been moved to New York, and the apartment had to be vacant by the end of the month. Her daughter took out 73 bags of clothing and linens before I arrived to assess the 1-bedroom apartment. The furniture buyer looked at photos of furniture but didn't want to buy any of it. A woman who had a company called Vignettes bought a few pieces, mostly the French provincial furniture, and the rest went to auction. This home only took 3 short days to finish. Sometimes the family, in wanting to help, actually gives or throws away items that could be sold because they don't realize what's collectible. I had to go through a dozen trash bags one time because the granddaughter had thrown away all the costume jewelry. Vintage shops and antique dealers love to buy all kinds of jewelry, especially sign pieces like Monet and Trifari. The next house was in Kensington, Maryland, with less than 2,000 square feet of living space. In mid-April at 7 p.m., I met a woman there. She told me she had movers coming at the end of the month. I did an assessment, but for some reason she did not hire me. It may have been that she wanted to do most of it herself. She did ask me to take photos and get in touch with associated auctioneers to find out if they were interested in selling the nice antique pieces in the house. I also have written in my notes that she may have hired one of my helpers. The cost would have been $20 an hour cheaper than using me. I don't know how it worked out, but the contents were interesting, so I thought I would share the photos of the antiques like the chifforobe and the humidor, along with the pinball machine and the hockey table. I sporadically charged people for the hour-long assessment. I should have done it every time and hope that you will if you decide to go into this line of work. If you are having a slow period, it is a way of making some money, and if you are busy and having to do assessments at 7 p.m. or on a weekend, because it's the only time when you are not working, it makes the time involved less annoying. especially when they pick your brain on how you do your job during the assessment, and then potential clients don't hire you. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to Attic to Basement Estate Cleanouts with Raccoons channel, and also let me know if you have any comments or suggestions.